Welcome viewers! In this video I want to show you why the Czech Republic is an underrated cycling paradise. Learn about the amazing safe bike infrastructure and the comprehensive nationwide network. Discover the secret of the yellow signs and how easy it is to bring a bike on a train in the Czech Republic. See some interesting places in nature and in cities, as well as amazing food and beer. Explore the vivid nightlife and lively cities. At the end I have 7 tips for your perfect bike holiday in Czechia based on my experience in the country. Stay tuned and join me in this gravel bike adventure. This summer I spent 8 days in the Czech Republic and stayed in Karlovy and Pilsen. I embarked on 5 bike tours, each approximately 100 kilometers long, but uniquely different. It was a perfect mix of challenge, discovery, and relaxation. While bikepacking is a cool thing, I personally prefer a different approach. It's what I would call the hub and spoke method. I keep all my belongings in one place, head out for daily tours, and then return to a comfortable base each evening. This was not my first bike holiday in the Czech Republic, but it's the first one where I had my camera. This year I stayed in Karlovy and Pilsen, 2 cities that are very different from each other, but are great bases to start bike trips. Karlovy is a beautiful town founded by Emperor Charles IV in the 14th century, and today it's mostly known for its therapeutic waters. Here you can see the magic springs. It has stunning architecture. There's neoclassical, there's art deco, but also some more brutal approaches to architecture. Here you can really see the contrast between old and new. For a solo traveler like me, there were a lot of things to see and do in the city. For instance, this free concert. My favorite place was the spa, from where you have an amazing view over the entire city. But enough about the city now, let's talk about cycling. In Karlovy I did 3 tours, out of which 2 went to this national park. It is perfectly connected by cycle paths. I made 1 tour straight into the bog and 1 along the German-Czech border. For latter one, I stole the route from the Czech Border Bash race, an annual ultra-endurance race around the Czech Republic. And how nice those tours were. I cycled on endless gravel roads. I explored a lost place. I went on a flow trail. I got lost in the woods. I saw a large-scale above-ground coal mine for the first time in my life. I came by many observation towers. I had amazing food. I was amazed by the scenery and the beautiful views. And above all, I was amazed by the quality of the bike infrastructure and how much of it there was. And not only in Karlovy, which is a tourist town, but also way out in the villages. I barely ever had to share the road. I can really recommend the area around Karlovy for gravel biking and other bikers as well. After 4 wonderful days, it was now time to pack my stuff and head to Pilsen. The second place I stayed in was Pilsen, and it's as different to Karlovy as it can be. It's definitely not a tourist town, but it has its own unique, no-nonsense charm and a down-to-earth contemporary vibe. The bike infrastructure is just as good as in other parts of the Czech Republic. I did 2 tours, and the first one was to Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, partly via the Eurovelo 4. The route was scenic and diverse. It took me through charming villages, paved bike paths, gravel paths through the woods, and gravel paths next to cities. After 4 hours or so, I arrived in the outskirts of Prague. On my way into the city, I got to see many parts which tourists usually don't go to. And that's one of the biggest advantages of bicycle traveling. You get to experience so much more, your experience is so much more authentic. The bike lanes in Prague are not as good as they are in other cities, or at least this one wasn't. However, somehow I made it to the center and started to recognize all of Prague's landmarks. The Trudelnik shops, the Euronet ATMs, and the Thai massages. Jokes aside, while mass tourism has its downsides, it's still a beautiful, lively city, which is worth the visit. After a nice burger, it was time for me to take the train back to Pilsen. For the second tour, I went to the military training zone Brdy, but I took a day off from filming that day, so there is no footage. But please just believe me, the area is also great for cycling. All cycle paths are signposted with these yellow signs. The numbers have a system. 1 digit is an international route, 2 digit marks a national road, 3 digits are regional, and 4 digits are local paths. The numbers behind the arrow mark the distance in kilometers. Get your accommodation in the city center. The inner cities are lively and walkable, with lots of cafes, bars and restaurants. Multiple times I had the luck to stumble upon events and some of those were free. As beautiful as the Czech cities are, the scenery might change a bit if you move further out. Czechia is one of the castle-richest countries in the world. There are 1,200 castles and ruins and over 500 palaces. Think about which ones you want to visit, you won't be able to cycle to all of them. In the Czech Republic, it's very easy to bring your bike on trains. The network is vast, booking through the app is straightforward, and the prices are reasonable. The train staff were always helpful and found a solution, even when all the bike racks were full. Every train I took was on time. A hospodka is a small cozy pub or inn, often found in villages or along hiking and cycling routes. They offer traditional Czech dishes, snacks, and of course beer, in a warm, rustic atmosphere. They are great places for a break. Potraviny refers to a small grocery store, and the word is derived from Potrava, which means food or provisions. These stores sell everyday essentials and basic food and drinks, and I found them even in the smallest village, and they are great to resupply during longer tours. These stores are often run by Vietnamese people, and this brings me to my next tip. There are 50,000 Vietnamese people living in the Czech Republic. This is the result of a former agreement for skilled labor transfer of communist governments. They sure cook nice food, and in every city and town I've been to, no matter how small, there was at least one Vietnamese restaurant. And I would definitely recommend you to go to one. Prague is a tourist city. There are around 7 million tourists every year, and that number was even higher pre-COVID. The inner city is not what it used to be, and there are a lot of scams. Don't let that put you off though. Just be prepared, and the good source for that is the YouTube channel Honest Guide. I'm gonna make it short. The bike network in Czechia is vast and safe, the routes are very well right. The cities are interesting and full of life, and there are a lot of things to do, even if you are alone. The food is great, the beer is the best in the world, and getting around with your bike is easy. The Czech Republic is a perfect country for gravel biking, but I would also recommend it to other types of bikers. If cycling is your thing, this country should be definitely on your bucket list. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something, I hope it gave you some inspiration, and see you maybe in the next one.